All right, so now we're going to try adding like they did in ancient times, okay? So in order to help out with this, I've got some sunflower seeds here. Should make things easy. All right, I want to add 8 and 5, and let's say that I've never been educated because school is not a thing that has been invented yet, but I need to do some trading with someone and I need to know, okay, I have 8 things and 5 more things. How many things is that? And I don't want to actually go pick up all those things. I can use sunflower seeds, for example, as a substitute for those things. So I put 8 sunflower seeds up there, and I put 5 sunflower seeds here, okay, or parts of sunflower seeds, whatever. All right, and then if we add those up, I can just count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 8 plus 5 is 13. No surprises. Okay, good. So now the question is, okay, that's all well and good, but what happens if I have, say, 58 plus 5? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I can now put, so my 8 sunflower seeds go up there, and I have 5 sunflower seeds here, and now I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sunflower seeds here to represent that 5 of 50. And so what we do now is collect up the sunflower seeds here and then take away 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And those will become part of this group. So this is the process that we would call carrying the 1. So this extra sunflower seed goes up here, right? Because each of these sunflower seeds is representing 10 units, right? So this sunflower seed I'm going to put up on this column is representing 10 units. Okay, so I can take these 10, put them back in here. And so now, how many sunflower seeds do I have in my tens units? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I'd end up with there is 63. Okay, but that's not all. What about a bigger number? What if I said, let's make this 358 plus 25? Well, the answer won't be 63. What will the answer be? Well, okay. So in ancient times, right, they would have used these sunflower seeds and done all this, but what hopefully you're starting to see is we don't actually need to use the sunflower seeds if we can remember how to add single digits together. That's all we need. So what you need to do, if you haven't done this yet, and hopefully you have, but you need to learn all of the sums of single digits and learn them off by heart. Okay? That is your job in this course. You need to have that done. Okay? So that is your homework. If you haven't done it back when you were younger, you now need to practice that, okay? And have it so that it's very quick. All right, so now let's do this. We know that 8 plus 5 is 13. Okay, and so we put the 3 down here and carry the 1, because that was 3 and 1 10, right? And then, okay, we take 5 and 2 is 7, and then we add 1 more, because we carried that 1, to get 8. Okay, and then how many hundreds are there? Well, there's 0 hundreds here, plus 3 hundreds, and we didn't have to carry any, so this 3 is all of the hundreds that there are. So this became 3 hundreds, 8 tens, so 80, and 3. So 383 is our answer. That is how we do addition. Okay, I'll do one more example with a bigger number in just a moment. Okay, here we go. 1,992 plus 378. How do we do this? Well, remember, we're always going to start with the smaller numbers and build our way up. So we start with 2 plus 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. So we put a 0 and carry the 1. And so now we're done with the units. Now we look, okay, 1 plus 9, that's 10, but then we also have to add the 7, so that gives me 17. All right, cool. Once again, 1 plus 9 is 10, plus the 3, so that's a 13. And now we've carried a 1 over, and we have 1 plus 1 is 2. So what we've got now is 1,992 plus 378 is 2,370. Okay. So that's addition for you. There will be lots of practice, and the idea here is that you're going to go practice this. I will give you some practice that I'll be posting on Blackboard, and we will be doing the practice in class. Okay, we want to get very, very fast at this, because the idea is that your first test is going to be done without a calculator, okay, and your tests when you are actually in the nursing program, you'll need to be able to do arithmetic without a calculator, so be ready for that. Okay, next we're going to move on to subtraction, so just a moment. Okay, here we go. 1,992 plus 378. How do we do this? Well, remember, we're always going to start with the smaller numbers and build our way up. So we start with 2 plus 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. So we put a 0 and carry the 1. And so now we're done with the units. Now we look, okay, 1 plus 9, that's 10, but then we also have to add the 7, so that gives me 17. All right, cool. Once again, 1 plus 9 is 10, plus the 3, so that's a 13. And now we've carried a 1 over, and we have 1 plus 1 is 2. So what we've got now is 1,992 plus 378 is 2,370. Okay. So that's addition for you. There will be lots of practice, and the idea here is that you're going to go practice this. I will give you some practice that I'll be posting on Blackboard, and we will be doing the practice in class. Okay, we want to get very, very fast at this, because the idea is that your first test is going to be done without a calculator, okay, and your tests when you are actually in the nursing program, you'll need to be able to do arithmetic without a calculator, so be ready for that. Okay, next we're going to move on to subtraction, so just a moment. All right, so now let's take a look at subtracting. We're not going to use the sunflower seeds for this. We can do this in our heads, well, or at least our heads in the paper. So we're going to start with 0 minus 8. We start with the units. We have a problem though, because I can't take 8 away from 0. There's nothing to take away. So am I stuck? No, I'm not stuck. What I can do is I can borrow from the 2. So just like I would take one sunflower seed and it would magically turn into 10, I'm going to borrow 1 from the 2, and then this, rather than being 0, becomes 10, right? So this is now 10 minus 8, and that I can do. It's 2. Okay, cool. Moving on to the next column. Now, I don't have a 2 here anymore, I have a 1. So I have 1 minus 5. Can I do that? No, 1 is too small to take 5 away from it. So what do I have to do? I have to, once again, borrow. So this 1 goes away, and it becomes a 0, I suppose. And then up here we have 11, and then 11 minus 5, that's something we can do now. So we have 6. So there we go. 120 minus 58 is 62. That's how we do subtraction. Okay, I'll do one more example, all right, and then we'll move on to multiplication. So here we go. Okay, so last example of subtraction here. The one thing that we need to worry about is, hey, what happens if we have a bunch of zeros when we need to borrow? So if we look at our first situation, okay, I have 0 minus 8, and I can't do that because I can't take 8 away from 0. All right, so far we're not talking about negative numbers. We'll get to negative numbers eventually, folks. Okay, but when we're talking about this subtraction algorithm, we're not thinking of negative numbers. So 0 minus 8, can't do it. All right, so I would need to borrow. Oh, okay, so I look to the next level up. Hey, can I borrow anything from the tens column? Hey, tens column, you got anything? No, the tens column is also broke. So the tens column then says, okay, I need to borrow myself, so the tens column goes up to the hundreds column and asks, hey, you got anything? And the hundreds column is like, no man, I'm broke too. So the hundreds column then looks up to the thousands column, and thank goodness there is something there to borrow from. So we're going to borrow 1 from the thousands column, so we're borrowing 1 from 2, so that leaves us with 1 here, and then that makes this a 10. Okay, but remember, the hundreds column is going to borrow from the tens column is going to borrow from the hundreds column. So we need to borrow from this 10. 1 minus 10 is 9. So we're borrowing it, and it comes down here. And then we have 10, and we need to borrow that 1 from there. All right, so that gives us 9. And lastly, now we have 10 units. Okay, so now that creates a bunch of 9s that we'll have to deal with, but let's do this now. We've got 10 minus 8, and I can now do this. So 10 minus 8 is 2, and now we can go through everything else. 9 minus 5, that is doable. It's 4. 9 minus 1 is doable. It's 8. 1 minus, now there's nothing written here, but remember, nothing is just another way of saying 0, right? There's 0 in the thousands column, right? There's nothing in the thousands column. So 1 minus nothing is 1, and 3 minus nothing is 3, leaving us with 31,842. All right? So now you have everything you need to go practice some subtraction. Enjoy. Next up, multiplication.